It is wrong for newspapers to breach people's privacy without justification. I mean, that is why, after all, Andy Coulson resigned from the News of the World 2.5 years ago. Of course, I knew about that resignation when I gave him a job, but I believe in giving people a second chance. The work he's done for me, the work he's done for the Conservative Party, I think is completely beyond reproach. He does it in a very proper way, a very upright way. And obviously the work he does for the Conservative Party, for me, I take full responsibility for as leader of the Conservative Party, and that's as it should be.
No one is unsackable, but the point I'd make is that I haven't had one single complaint about how he's done his job, or indeed how the Downing Street press office has done its job. And that's quite a contrast from the years of Alistair Campbell and Damien McBride and all the rest of it. So I say you should judge people on the jobs that they do, and I think actually my Downing Street operation, most of which is completely inherited from Gordon Brown, extremely talented civil servants who work there, I think they do a very good job.
Well, I'm obviously very sorry to see him go, because he did a very good job as Director of Communications, both for the government and for the country. He ran the Downing Street press office in a very professional and straightforward and correct way, and I think has done some very good work. But I understand why he wants to go, the things that happened to the News of the World, the stories about that. Obviously, he resigned at the time, and I've always felt he's been punished for the same offence twice, but I quite understand his decision and wish him well for the future. I choose to judge him by the work that he's done for me, for the government and for the country. And as I say, he's run the Downing Street press office in a professional and competent and good way. And if you compare that with the days of the dodgy dossiers and Alistair Campbell and Damien McBride and all that nonsense we had from the previous government, he's done an excellent job. And I think he should be judged by that. And I don't recall, actually, anyone really complaining in any way about how he's done his job at Downing Street. This is all about the past, and that seems to go on, and I can understand why he is, feels the pressure of that and wants to move on, and I wish him well. But he's done good work for the government, and I thank him for that. This is a truly dreadful act and a truly dreadful situation. What I've read in the papers is quite shocking that someone could do this, actually knowing that the police were trying to find this person and trying to find out what had happened. Well, I made a decision to employ Andy Coulson. He had resigned from the News of the World. He said at the time he didn't know what was happening on his watch. He should have known what was happening on his watch. He paid the price, he resigned. I took the decision, as I say, my decision alone, to give him a second chance. He worked for me in opposition, he worked for me in government, but the second chance, if you like, didn't work. He had to resign all over again for what happened under his watch at the News of the World. That is what happened, and I don't think it's particularly meaningful today to try and put a different gloss on it or go over it again in a different way. That is what I decided, that's what I did. People will judge me for that, I understand that. But that's what happened, that's the decision I made, and that's what I'm going to say about it. Clearly now,
how should people judge you, though,
well,
Prime Minister,
people have
based
to
on that
judge
decision?
whether they think it's right to give someone a second chance or whether they don't.